A reading from the Gospel of John. Hughes. Dear Mr. Vernon, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it was we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. You see us as you want to see us, in the simplest terms, in the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain, and an athlete, and a basket case, a princess, and a criminal. Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, The Breakfast Club. Thus ends the reading. If you've never seen this film, The Breakfast Club, there's a group of 5 high schoolers stuck in Saturday morning detention together. They begin the day not really knowing each other at all, but seeing each other based on the assumptions that they have. They know the one quiet girl is really weird. They know the one guy's a jock. They know the other girl is rich and popular. The one nerdy guy is super smart. And that the scary guy is a criminal and probably always there at Saturday morning detention. But over the course of the day, they start to break down the assumptions that they have about each other. And once they take the time to get to know each other, they see things quite differently. So the quote I just read is their conclusion by the end of the day. This week's Believe idea encourages us to see others the way God sees them, to acknowledge that all people are loved by God. Now, some might dismiss this immediately as too Pollyanna, or, to make a more recent cultural reference, kind of a little bit like an episode of Barney. But as that may be the case, it doesn't make it any less true. God loves everyone. God loves the oppressed and the oppressor. God loves the victim of a hate crime and the perpetrator of a hate crime. God loves even the people who insist that God doesn't love everyone. So what does this mean for us? How are we supposed to follow suit? There are terrible, mean, irritating, hateful, harmful people in this world. There are people constantly finding ways to divide rather than unite us, to point out ways in which we're different, ways in which we disagree. So how do we love? How do we love as God has loved us? I think John Hughes, the director of The Breakfast Club, really did give us a good example of where we can start. Why don't we try putting ourselves in everyone else's shoes, looking for the things that we share in common, looking for that spark of goodness in others that reflects the image of God, realizing that everyone has their own baggage that they bring into any situation, knowing that that person who cut you off in traffic may very well be going through something terrible that you know nothing about. Give it a try this week. Pray for strength, patience, and wisdom as you attempt to love others the way God does.